Hello and welcome to today's Apex Trader Funding challenge. We've got a 25k challenge on the line. We're $300 up, $1,500 target all in all. So we've got about $1,200 to go. This is day 4, I think. So 4th day of trading on this challenge. We're looking at the DAX. So we've got a number of different instruments here. So on the MT5 platform, we've got the German 40. So that's the top 40 stocks of the German market. We've got the pivot points laid out. So I lay new levels out every day, and we'll go over that shortly. We've also got the FDAX full contracts on the order flow within Tradovate, so that we can see what order flow is going through on the full contracts. We've also got the FDAX Mini, which is the FDAX Mini contracts. So we've got the order flow for those as well. So they're both on a 5-minute chart. And we just want to see, I guess, what order flow is coming through on the bid and ask side as well, so that we can help determine what direction the market is likely to go. We've also got the depth of market here for the micro DAX. So the micro DAX is the market that I'll be trading. It's usually €1 per point, and I can trade up to 4 contracts on this particular account, so the 25k account. The goal, I guess, for this account is to make $75 per day, which equates to, if we can get 20 accounts funded, that equates to about $27,000 per month. So if we get $75 a day across 20 accounts every day for 20 days, that's 27k after your 10% that you give to Apex. So if we can get that, quite a, I guess, like a decent target. We are currently ahead of schedule on that one. So we'll see how we go. And I'll jump into the analysis now. So what we use the order flow for, basically looking at how the market interacts with our levels. So I don't really look at the order flow until the market opens up in about 2 minutes. So based on the levels that we've got here, I'll be hoping for a good push up. I might look to sell off the R1 or the breakout long. Ideally the target will be the close. So we'll see if we can get down there. But we can see that these levels are quite spread out, so it's not a super clear day, which is a bit annoying. And also yesterday we had, I think I made about $40 during the trading session. It just wasn't really, we didn't get enough motion during the early session. So by the time it got down to these areas that I want it to be, I was already not looking at the market. So what we really want is the open to have a lot of volatility to push us into an impulsive move outside of where it should be trading, and then we rebalance the market as traders. So we'll see if that plays out. We'll have a quick look at the other time frames. So almost vertical, parabolic movement there. We are getting close to the yearly R3, but we are outside that on the UK. So important to note that we have hit outside the yearly R3, and I would suggest that we're likely to probably come back within the pivot points on the yearly level, but this is the first time that I'm actually using these levels, but they do play quite a part. So you can see down here, really nice rejection off those yearly levels when we had the tariffs from Trump. So basically had a really good reaction off those yearly levels from massive news announcement, and excellent recovery off the drop there. So nothing too much on the monthly, weekly, daily. I'll just quickly run through. We've got 15 seconds, 4 hour, nothing much there, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute. Okay, so nothing much on the Bollinger Band. So really looking in the next 7 seconds to see where the market will go. Down here's a target, but we may get an impulsive move up before that. So hopefully we get a bit of a spike. Just watching the order flow. That could be ask sell orders there, but it's not quite clear what direction the market will head. So there's a good chance we'll come down and hit this close gap. But often I would expect a move up before we come straight down and do that. Otherwise, perfect trade, but you've got a bit of risk reward to kind of make up for, because if the market does go up and it goes past these R1 and breakout long, you could find yourself in a bit of strife. So if I can see an opportunity to perhaps get long after we come down to this close gap, then I might be doing that. But at the moment, very middle ground. Also, we are the 30th of the month. It is a Thursday. So what I'll be looking for tomorrow, here we go. What I'll be looking for tomorrow is actually probably quite a big move down, so a bearish day, followed by, well, actually, sometimes it goes up initially, but at some point during that day, there should be a bearish move, because it's the last day of that month. So it'll be interesting to see if we do get a bit of a pullback, and could be a very good start, I guess, for buyers on November 1st. So early in the session could be some really good buying opportunities, or perhaps even late in the 31st session. So tomorrow, after there's been a big pullback, there could be a really good opportunity for traders to start getting back into the market from a better price. So as you can see, the market hasn't really had enough movement. So fortunately, I wasn't too keen on getting in, long or short, because there's not really enough movement there for me to say, right, I'm sure where this is going. And it's really about being patient. So no big impulsive move that says, right, this is where the market is going to reject from because it's moved too far. So quite efficient in a sense. We'll see if we come down and hit that close gap, but not in any trades right now. So really just waiting for the market to position itself into a place where I can see a better opportunity to actually enter the market without taking too much risk. Right now, basically it could go up or down. We've obviously got the close gap as a target, but it doesn't always get filled on the same day. So just watching the order flow, there's nothing super clear either. So there's no big outstanding orders on either side. I guess there's a 40 contract there, which could have been a sell limit. But at the same time, it could have been aggressive buying. So just have to be aware of the ask side orders could be sell or buy, just the same as the bid orders. We're really just waiting for the market to actually get into a better position. And you can tell from yesterday's trading as well. I'll just go back and have a quick look. Look, it looked more active during the Asian session, this whole market, and now we're sort of just meandering about. During the session yesterday, we kind of just hovered around that close gap, so no real clear direction, and that would have caught out a lot of traders that are getting in really heavy, picking a direction, and it kind of just jumps around. So unless they closed successfully, eventually traders often get burnt by going in really heavy and trying to make money in this kind of condition. So I got in, I think I made $40, and then I thought, right, that's probably enough. Just to get that day counter up for Apex Trader Funding, because you need that. You need 4 days of trading. So sitting at $300, so $75 a day. That's 75, 150. So 4 days. So even if we didn't trade today, we've still got 4 days worth of $75, if that makes sense. Sitting at $300, so we'd still be on track if we had 20 accounts. We'd still be on track to hit 27k after the Apex fees. Coming down heavily now. We've hit that pivot. Potentially some aggressive buying, but it could also be sell limit orders, so stops being taken out, and the market may just continue falling down. So we'll see if we get a reaction here, but still it's in the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't be keen on going for the close just yet, and I wouldn't be keen on buying either. So it's a bit of a boring start to the trading session. I've got a bit more volume down here on the FDAX Mini, but it's not huge. So Look, I think 54 contracts, I'd be tempted to buy from here, but I still think we've probably got a bit further to go before we come back up, but I could be wrong. Like, ideally, I'd like to see this close gap filled before I start getting in. But 54 contracts, that's quite big. If that is an aggressive buyer, that's pretty massive compared to the rest of the volume. You can see 54 compared to, say, 14 is the next biggest, or 16. It's 5 times the size. So on the flip side, that could be a sell limit order as well. So it's come down, taken out some buy stop losses, and then maybe it'll turn around from here. So just got to kind of figure out what has actually happened here. So it's unlikely that people would maybe put their stops there unless they did think, let's just blind buy, and then they've put a stop in a random location. But you've got all this pricing here, so it's a bit of a strange place to put a stop of that size, which leads me to believe that perhaps it is an aggressive buyer. But to get 54 contracts in one hit, in one buy, I think that's quite difficult to achieve as well. So we'll see if we can break low, come down and touch this close gap. Looks like aggressive selling on this side, on the FDAX Mini, but just remembering the full contracts really should control the market overall. If we continue coming down a little bit further, it would be ideal. I'd really just love to fill this gap first, and then I can get in with some good buy orders. Just because it's turned up just for the moment doesn't necessarily mean that it is going to continue up. So we just have to see. Look, that's quite a lot of orders right here. This looks like it could actually be aggressive selling forming now, pushing that market lower. So that's what I'm hoping for, is we've got sellers coming in. We'll get a little bit lower, we'll come down and fill this gap because we're quite close now. It wouldn't make too much sense to come all this way to not fill it. 32 contracts there. That could be buying. So right now I'm just waiting for a bit more evidence as to when I can get in. So if we can come down, fill this gap, get a bit more evidence that the market is going to then turn around based on the order flow. So not just blindly following these levels, but we want it confirmed with some ask side aggressive buying. So we'll see orders coming in on the red side, and perhaps a big limit order on the bid side as well. So we just need that market to really just push down a little further. See if we can get there. Because if we take off from here, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it's not really a risk that I'd like to take from this position. So ideally I do want to get long, but just not from here. Just really waiting out that process, and that's part of trading. A lot of people don't have the patience to sit here and wait for the price to reach where it has to go. You get in early, and then as the market moves to where it should be going, that's when mistakes are made. So it looks like we're pulling away now from that close gap. So it could be a no trade day. I might just pop a little order in just to hit that 4th day counter. But I'd really love to see this pull back down and actually fill this gap before I get long. I just don't want to take that extra heat, and then who knows, it could go even further. So for example, on the ASX, yesterday we traded below the S3, and then haven't really recovered yet. The Nikkei has been quite strong. The US, I guess it sold off during its own session. So Look, it might be turning around here, but I'd really love to just see it come back first. So slow and steady, just waiting for the right price. If you've got plenty of capital and you don't really care about this small movement that could happen, people might be getting long here regardless. But because of the Apex Trader Funding Challenge, the way the trailing drawdown works, you've got to be really, vigilant and not get in too early. Otherwise, you end up in hot water very quickly. Fortunately, they do have the micro DAX index, which is only $1 a point or €1 per point. So it does make it a bit easier. But you've still got to kind of wait it out. So we're getting a bit of pullback here, which is good. So that looks like 19 aggressive sellers, 9 more here, and then very thin volume pushing it right down. So we'll see when we get back down to this price with this 95 contracts all up on bid and ask. We'll see if we get another reaction. If we get a lot more orders right here, somebody's really holding that level, and I might be tempted to just pop one contract in and go long, but we'll just see how that plays out. So if we get another big order, just going to pop one contract on the buy side. So I've hit the bid side on the depth of market where there was an order on the ask side to connect the two so that I can get in at market effectively without sort of taking that buy market button, because if the market takes off and then I could get into a price where I don't really want to get in, like let's say the market moves when I click the button on buy market, it could take me in way up here instead of where I wanted to get in all the way down here. So just a quick note, if you are concerned about the price that you get in, it is often best to use the depth of market to directly enter based on the price you want rather than the market order. If you can, sometimes the market moves too quickly as well. So just keep that in mind, of course, but really just hovering around. I think it might be soaking up people just wanting to get long before it can come down, take this closed gap out, and that's when I'll add more contracts. But for now, I'm just in for one contract, make a little bit of money if we go up, but I can add quite a bit more if we come down further and still not be in drawdown risk. So currently about $7 up. It's about 10 times less than what we need, but the market's not really moving enough for us to make a good decision, or to make good money on small contracts and risking appropriately. So very slow and steady. We'll take a look at the UK, pulling back quite a bearish candle there. But still not really that much movement. So not much volatility today. I think potentially it's all waiting for tomorrow. So we've got the 31st of October. We'll see where it goes then. But for now, it's just not much movement. So we've got one contract in, one contract long. We're slightly behind, and we really want it to come down and hit this close so I can add more. Here we go. That's the activity that I'm looking for. And then in the order flow, I'm now looking for a bit more activity to tell me that we're actually going to turn around. So I want it to come down a little further. Keep dropping, keep dropping. If this is it, that's okay, but at the same time, if we can come back a little further, I can add more volume. Keep coming. It's very slow and steady. It's a new 5-minute candle. It's kind of gapped a little bit. Hopefully there's a bit of a fake out and then it'll come back down, but it may not be. So we'll see. So on the new candle, you often get some just automatic buyers. They say, right, it's a new candle, we'll buy. It could be algorithmic. And then often it will kind of retrace back the direction it was already going. So we'll see if that plays out. And really just watching what the market does for now. Just a very dull trading session. 16 contracts there. That could be ask limit orders, meaning sell, followed by aggressive sellers on the bid side, hitting the market down, is what I'm hoping for anyway. Because I want it to just come back a little bit so I can add more volume and make it a bit more meaningful. That really looks to me like a sell limit on the ask side. But now the market's pushed through. So anyway, very dull activity. I might just take this. So to close out my one contract, I just click on the bid side. Just going to click. We'll make 20 bucks. Okay, so you can see here $21 profit for the day. The reason I've taken that out is because there's just not really enough volume in there for me to want to sit and wait that out. So I've made $20. It's okay, but it's a really tough market to read because we're not getting enough motion. We're not coming right back to the close gap. We're not sort of running into these other pivot points, and then the risk reward for me is just not really there. So to make 20 bucks in this kind of an environment, quite happy with that. We're still on track, so 4 days worth of $75 is only $300, so we're just slightly above that. So we've got, I guess, half of tomorrow's target almost done. If we can pull back from here off that pivot and go all the way to the close, I might then look for another buy entry. But anyway, for the moment, I'm not going to sort of sit here and bore you with a market that's not moving enough. Wish you all the best with your trading today, and hopefully we get a bit more volatility later in the session. Best of luck, enjoy the day, and we'll be back tomorrow. See you.